Hey, how's it going? Sit down, grab a snack, because today we are going to be reviewing Mickey 17. Now, there are going to be some spoilers in this video, but they are going to be at the end of the video, and I will timestamp them in the description down below, and I will make it very abundantly clear that I am fixing to get into spoilers. So without further ado, let's get into the review. This movie follows Mickey Barnes, and he has signed up to be a part of the Expendables program on a spaceship. So yes, this is in fact a sci-fi flick. The film is sci-fi, but it's also satirical. It makes fun of, I would argue, quite a lot of different people and different kinds of people. There's one person that, despite the fact that Bong Joon-ho says that he is not making fun of that person, it is very obvious that this person is patterned after and acted after a particular character that's currently in office right now. I wonder who that could be. The film asks a lot of moral questions, like if you were in fact able to print off people, should you? If you were able to have people be expendable, should you do that? I thought it examined that relatively well. I haven't personally seen any other media that examines that topic, that is, quite as well as Mickey 17 does. I think the movie is acted very, very excellently. I particularly liked Robert Pattinson. A lot of people, I have a feeling, aren't going to like Robert Pattinson simply because he is acting so incredibly goofy, but something that I like about this movie is that despite Robert Pattinson acting two characters, that's not a spoiler, it's in the trailer, despite the fact that he is acting two characters in this movie, the characters are distinctly different, and we're actually given a decent reason as to why they're distinctly different, which I appreciated, but the fact that they are basically, they're the same person, but they're two completely different personalities of the same person, I found that very interesting and pretty cool that you could immediately tell who was who. A pretty valid criticism that Brennan, which is who I saw this film with, if you want to check out our immediate thoughts after seeing the film, literally we recorded that video right after we saw the film. You can check that out on the top right hand of the screen right now. Brennan's main criticism of the film was that every scene lasted just a little bit too long. And while that is definitely true for some scenes way more than others, I didn't think necessarily that every single scene was too long. There were about half of the scenes that I thought were the perfect length, and there were some scenes that were really, really incredible and really memorable from this movie. But that doesn't excuse the fact that several scenes were literally like a minute or two too long, it felt like. Did I enjoy the movie? Yeah, I'd say I enjoyed it. Would I recommend you rush to the theater and throw your money at it? Well, it is an independent idea, not by a massive studio. I say that because despite the fact that Warner Brothers distributed the film, it is very obviously a Bong Joon-ho film, and I appreciate that he kept that style. I wouldn't necessarily say rush to the theaters to see it, but I would probably recommend it. It's like a 7 out of 10 film for me personally. On a rewatch, it'd probably go up to a 7.5, maybe an 8. It was good. I would argue it was pretty good, but I would not argue that it was great. Now, with all of the non-spoiler stuff out of the way, I would like to talk about the ending. So there are going to be spoilers moving forward. If you've watched up to this point and you don't want the movie spoiled for you, you can click off right now. I'm not going to talk about anything that isn't spoilers. I was really confused by that scene towards the end where Toni Collette was printing back out a new body for Marshall with his memories. That confused me. I was also a little confused by the almost hyperfixation on sauce throughout the movie. I didn't really understand that, to be perfectly honest. I get that it's like, you know, kind of sort of a stand-in for greed, so maybe I get it more than I think I do, but that didn't make quite as much sense why they were going so hard after that. But I did look it up, and that scene, which made sense in the context of the film. I thought that maybe Mickey 17 killed Toni Collette or something in that scene, but I looked it up afterwards, and it's apparently supposed to be a nightmare scene. Like, it didn't even actually happen, which, to be perfectly honest, I did not realize. I thought it was the type of thing where he was like, nah, you're not gonna get in my way, you're not gonna control me, or whatever, and he stinking killed both of them or something, but no, it was just supposed to be a dream sequence. I also think the ending, to be perfectly honest, overstayed its welcome a little bit, because you've got the climax of the film happens, and then it's like 10 or 15 minutes of denouement at the end, which of ending at the end, which I personally felt, and this is gonna sound very odd, tied up a few too many loose ends. Like, I'm a fan, okay? I know it's ambiguous, and I know that depending on how you read into it, it potentially changes the ending of the film. I am a fan of Parasite's ending, and I am a fan of Snowpiercer's ending, and despite the fact that neither one of those are particularly happy endings, I think they end well. Now, I did like the ending of the story. I thought it was good, but it just seemed like they were trying to conclude everything, and like they were trying to tie up every single loose end, which I don't really think worked for the story. I would have preferred to see a few loose ends out there. But yeah, I thought this was an absolutely baller way to follow up Parasite. I thought it was cool, I thought it was fun, and I enjoyed it. Again, I would give it a 7 out of 10. But have you seen Mickey 17? If you have, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And should I see more of Bong Joon-ho's filmography? If you have a favorite movie of his that's not Parasite, come on now, don't just type Parasite in the comments. I don't want to be the comments to be filled with Parasite, 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 Parasite. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below if you have a favorite film of his that isn't Parasite. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Movie Boy, and thank you for watching this review.